Hello, welcome back to episode 21 of my beginner series for old school RuneScape, where I play the game badly and you'll help me learn to get better. My goal for today is to get some more quests done and start leveling up prayer, so I can get the overhead prayers and start trying some bosses, the first of which we will attempt to the end of this episode. I'm going to be streaming weekly from now on, either on Friday or Saturday evenings, so please come and join the fun, either live here on YouTube or on twitch.tv/Bronson043. To begin our episode, the first quest we take on is a Black Knight's Fortress. In this quest, we've been hired by ceramic vase of the White Knights to infiltrate the Black Knight's Fortress and spy on them, as the Black Knights have said that they have a new weapon which will change the balance of Gielinor forever.
Why'd you seek my audience? I seek a quest.
So we head over to the fortress with a cabbage and some armour. We find our way through the fort, eavesdrop on a witch who is claiming to have made an invincibility potion, and all she needs is a special cabbage.
The invincibility potion is almost ready. It's taken me 5 years. The goblin is going to fetch the last ingredient for me. It's specially grown cabbage by my cousin Helda, who lives in Draenor Manor.
We head on to the room above the witch and sabotage her potion with a normal, boring cabbage, ruining the potion and foiling the Black Knight's plans. First quest completed.
Cabbage hole. Whoop. There it goes. Uh-oh, that's not a magic cabbage. My potion. That's why you should always keep a lid on your cauldron, guys.
Next up, Druidic Ritual. With the completion of this task, we will unlock the Herb Lore skill, which allows us to make potions to make us stronger and much harder to kill. To start this quest, we go and collect a variety of animal meat, then go talk to this old guy, whose name I'm told is pronounced Cake Mix.
Cake Mix, of course.
He tells us to go talk to another old guy called Sanfew, who is the leader of the Druids. Speaking to him, he tells us to stick a bunch of meat into a magical cauldron. We go do that, which turns the meat blue.
Then the beef. Then the chicken. Ooh. These look tasty.
We then give Sanfew our blue meats, head back to Cake Mix, who tells us how to make potions and grants us the Herb Lore skill.
Different herb lore levels before you can make them. Hey, I thought that quest was going to take longer.
Quest 2 completed. The third quest of the episode, Recruitment Drive. As we did such a good job spying on the Black Knights earlier, Ceramic Vase has recommended us to the Temple Knights, who are a secret organisation that are looking for new, skilled recruits. For the start of this quest, we talk to Certification, who kidnaps us and throws us into a challenge room.
Jolly good show. Now, the training grounds location is a secret, so... Here you go, mind your head. Oh, yeah, he stuck a bag over our head. Classic.
Here, we have to complete a series of tasks to show we are worthy of joining the Temple Knights. Test 1, Patience. We talk to the first knight and wait. And that's the first challenge done. The second challenge, look at the statues, then after a few seconds, see which one is new. I use my photographic memory and perfect recall to figure this one out, then on to the next.
I have memorized the statues.
Challenge number 3, the classic puzzle of getting a fox, chicken and a bag of grain across the bridge, one at a time, without leaving the fox and the chicken together, or the chicken and the grain together. To make sure I get this right the first time, I draw some advanced diagrams to plan my actions to perfection.
We're going to get technical in here. Let's open up Paint. So, we've got... This is a fox. Then we got a bag. And then we got something else. What was it? A chicken. That's a perfect chicken. You're starting to believe. I am starting to believe, you know. I don't think I ever need a quest helper again.
The fourth test, a fight against a man who can't be hurt by a blade, so we hit him with a hammer.
Does it work with a hammer? Yeah, nice.
The fifth and final test. We're locked in a room with a bunch of items and have to figure out how to get out. I went into this thinking I could figure it out on my own. Turns out it was a bit more complicated than I expected. To complete this one, I had to follow these simple and obvious steps. Take the metal spade, burn it on the Bunsen burner to remove the wood. Then use the metal spade on the door, sticking it in the hole there. Then use the sulfuric acid on the metal spade. Then use a vial of liquid on the door. Open the first door. Use a vial of liquid on the tin. Use the gypsum on the tin. Then use the tin on the key that's on the floor to get an imprint. Use tin ore powder on the tin. Use cupric ore powder on the tin. Use the tin on the Bunsen burner, and then finally use a knife on the tin to get the key to the second door. Don't know how I didn't figure that out on my own. But with that, recruitment drive is complete. We get some prayer, herb lore and agility XP, some money and a helmet. 3 quests completed. Feeling like I'm on a roll, I jump straight into the next quest, Sleeping Giants. Heading over to Alcarid, I talk to a giant called Kovac, who wants help repairing a giant forge, so he can make weapons for other giants to help them become smarter. So we repair everything he asks us to. Once that is done, we start building the first sword. Melt a bunch of stuff in the cauldron, pour it into a mould, then hammer, grind and polish the sword. Once this is done, we hand the sword back to Kovac and quest is completed, which rewards us with 6,000 smithing XP and access to the Giant's Foundry for future use. At this point, I want to take a break from quests, so next I want to start leveling prayer. The reason I want to do this is to get the overhead prayers. These are 3 different prays, each giving full resistance to either ranged, melee or magic attacks, meaning if someone is hitting me with a sword, I can simply pray and ignore the damage. These prayers are going to be important for taking on harder challenges, so let's get it done. At the end of the last stream, our high level user gave me a couple of bonds. Now at the time, I didn't know what these were. Turns out these are used to redeem for membership and can also be sold for over 13 million GP each. As I'd already purchased membership, I decided I would redeem these for some money and use it to start grinding some skills that required a bit of a starting fund. Chat let me know of a fast way to level up prayer, which is to buy a bunch of dragon bones from the Grand Exchange.
Dragon bones. How many should we get? Let's get 1,000. 1,100. See if that's a start.
Head over to a world where someone has a house with an altar in it. Me and a horde of other people grinding prayer run back and forth between the player house with the altar and Files, a guy who can turn paper into items. This means I don't have to keep going to the bank. This method of leveling prayer was rapid. It took me less than 15 minutes to get to 43 prayer, which unlocks all 3 overhead prayers.
There we go. 43 prayer. You can now use a prayer protection from melee, and there's more information from a tutor. I'm not going to go to a tutor.
Feeling like I could take on the world with my new magic powers, I decided to take a whack at my first boss. My target was Scurrius, a giant rat king who lives in the Varrock sewers. Now I knew I couldn't defeat this Chad, but I wanted to start practicing the mechanics and to see how the prayers worked. So I strapped on my mithril gear, stocked up on prayer potions, strength potions and some food, and headed down into the sewers. So this here is Scurrius, a giant rat that has 2 other rats stuck to his back. Most of the fight is using the melee prayer to defend against Scurrius' tail attack, and running around to avoid the falling ceiling. When Scurrius gets to 400 HP, he runs off to the side to eat some food and heal. Whilst this is happening, the rats on his back start attacking. One has a magic attack and the other a ranged attack.
Yes.
So I need to keep on changing my prayers. Unfortunately, at this level, he heals faster than we can do damage to him. So after learning the mechanics for a bit and getting a couple of attack levels, we end up getting squashed.
No, I think that's us dead. Fight to death so you know how a grave system works. Well, there we go, we fought to the death.
After that humiliating yet predictable defeat, it's time for another quest. Next up, Fight Arena. This quest has a recommended combat level of 50, yet we're only at 44, but thanks to our recently acquired prayers, we should be able to complete this one. The quest starts with us talking to Lady Servile, whose family has been abducted by General Khazard to battle for his entertainment in the fight arena. Our task is to free Lady Servile's family. First things first, we steal some Khazard armour, put it on, then talk our way into the fight arena jail. Once in there, we get the head guard drunk so that he gives this strange looking man that he has never seen before the key to the prison cells. Once again, we have used booze to achieve our goals. Now we have the key, we can release Sammy Servile, who is Lady Servile's son. After he's been let out, he wants us to help get his dad out. We run into the fight arena to see his dad getting battered by an ogre, so we step in to save the day. With the ogre defeated, General Khazad appears and tells us that we can fight for the family's freedom. We take this deal, which isn't really a choice, and prepare for the next fight.
Well, if their freedom is so valuable to you, how about a trade? Fight in my arena. If you win, I let them go. What if I refuse? I wasn't actually giving you a choice. Guards, take him to the cells.
A giant scorpion is next, which we easily put down thanks to being completely invulnerable. Our attack and strength is a bit low for this quest, so the fights aren't quick, but we get there. We then fight Bouncer, a hellhound, which takes a while, but he goes down.
Oh, bring on Bouncer. Oh, look at him. That's a sharp collar he's got. Level 137. Easy.
Finally, General Khazad himself. We switched to magic for this fight, otherwise I'd be here all night. When we defeat him, he turns into mist, then reforms in front of us. Turns out killing him isn't going to be that easy.
You proved yourself in battle against me. That is something few can boast of. For that, you may leave. However, if you ever oppose me again, I won't hesitate to wipe you from existence. Now go. I have business to attend. Okay, well, we showed him who was boss, right?
Oh well, he decides to let us go anyway, and that's another quest complete. 12,175 attack XP, 2,175 thieving XP, and 1,000 coins. This puts us at combat level 45. To wrap up the session, I went and bought a rune scimitar from the Grand Exchange, as this is the best weapon for us at the moment.
15k. Boom, look at that. Oh, get out of the way, War. That's a fat old sword, look at that.
And had another go at Scurrius, to slightly better results, but still not enough to take him down. And with that final attempt on Scurrius, that's the end of the episode. I want to thank you all for watching. This video is the start of a new style of video on the channel, which takes me a lot longer to make, but should be a lot more enjoyable to watch. So please take a moment to make sure you're subscribed, drop a like, and leave a comment down below. Thank you, take care, I'll see you next time.